Hi, everyone. So let's start. So our today's topic is how to do group work. So we'll talk a little bit about group work in the context of working together at work, working together as a family, probably also with friends, and of course with whatever work we do. Okay. So let's start with an invocation. Let's close our eyes. Connect the tongue to the palate. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Let us invoke to the Supreme Being, Divine Father. Be aware of the qualities of the Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine light. Feel the light, the guidance, divine love, divine mercy. Thank you for your divine protection, for illumination, abundance, and prosperity. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Thank you for your divine help and protection, for illumination, abundance, and prosperity. We thank you. Let's do the soul affirmation. I am that I am. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am not the thought. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God. And I am one with all. Let's feel the oneness. Group work also involves feeling oneness, feeling the compassion towards other people, which we sometimes, I think, forget maybe. Okay, so today's topic is group work, like I said, and we're going to read a little bit from Master's Choa's book called Inspired Action. So over here, he says that in a group, one person balances the deficiencies of another. So what I wanted to, of course, what's written in the book is obviously already there. It says, if you have a shortcoming, you will get stuck. So do work in a group. In this way, the deficiency of one person can be compensated by the strength of another person. So one way that I would like to put this across is that, sometimes when we're working in a group and we see somebody in the group who's doing something really well, and immediately we begin to think is like, okay, I want to be like this person. I want to be able to do this thing. But what we forget sometimes is that we have a different skill. So all of us have a different skill. And one of the things that I've learned through group work is this, that I can't do everything. I need to depend on other people to do things. And yes, they may have some shortcomings and they may not be able to do things the way I do them, right? So for example, like we have a very strong team here. I mean, Kunal, Priya, and Devapriya are the ones who are taking meditations, who are teaching people Twin Hearts meditation. We have Sunetra, who is posting very regularly. So we have a strong team, and we have other teams who are doing. We have Megha, who is doing a lot of energy work. And my husband Siddharth, he also does energy work. So basically what I'm trying to say is that not everyone can do everything, right? So not everyone can be here at 4 p.m. for the meditation, but they're doing, energy work at other times. So one of the things that I feel is that, let's say, for example, let's talk about the family. So let's say, for example, we're together in a family, and how many times do we think like, okay, I'm so punctual and I'm so efficient, so how come my family is not? right? That's what we think. And then suppose they have an important appointment, then either we take two approaches. One is either we'll nag them, like, don't forget your appointment, don't forget your appointment, don't forget your appointment. That's one. Or two, we'll wait for them to be late for the appointment and then say, I told you so, right? So one of the things that I feel is that if we want to take a supportive attitude towards group work, towards our family also, because that's also a group, what we can do is that we can remind people at a time that they need to be reminded. Okay, so let's say, for example, I want someone in the office to do something. Now, there's no point sending him a message at 7 o'clock in the morning because he's not in the office at 7 o'clock in the morning, especially if he's the kind of person who's not very organized, right? So maybe instead of 7 o'clock, maybe at 11:15, I can set a reminder on my calendar and call the person at 11:15 and say, hey, you need to, can you do this, for example, right? So that is also to me a part of group work, because it's understanding that this person needs to do something and that they're good at doing what they are going to do. But there's no point me reminding them at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so similarly for like family members, also we need to be aware. So let's say, for example, if a family member has a particular weakness, then rather than point it out to them all the time that they're weak about this, maybe what we can do is we can take a more supportive approach. So let's say, for example, my cook, for example, she often forgets to put microgreens on the salad, for example. So instead of being irritated about it and telling her 3 hours earlier, maybe I can just tell her 15 minutes before I ask for the salad, like, hey, can you just get the microgreens? Okay, so that's like a supportive behavior. It's like, instead of, you don't remind people to do things when they can't do them. You remind people, you support people. Now, let's say, for example, I know that one person has a tendency to forget to do something at a certain time. Now, a better way for me to handle that would be to remind them at that time. So what am I basically getting at? I'm getting at, building of self-esteem. So let's say I'm not good at something, okay, but someone else on my team is good at something. Now, I can either keep comparing myself to all the other members of my team, and I can keep saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. Or I can just step back and I can look at, what do I do best? Whether it's as a family member or whether it's as a group of people working together, what do I really do best? And maybe I can start, delegating, or, letting other people of the team take charge of the other things. Now, the other thing in group work, what happens is that, let's say, for example, I do put somebody in charge, or I do kind of be like, okay, you're handling this, you're handling this, and you're handling this. But then if I micromanage, then it doesn't work. Okay, the reason why micromanage doesn't work is because that's not their style. That's not their strength. They may have a different way of doing something. So, group work is also about letting the other person be creative. So some of the most efficient groups I've seen work have been basically like, okay, they've been very respectful of each other, in the sense that, suppose someone's really good at calculations and someone's really good at writing. So instead of feeling envious of the person who's good at writing, if the person who's good with numbers just says, you do the writing and I'll do the numbers. Simple, right? That's group work. Okay, so let's say, for example, we just take our hand, right? We have 5 fingers. Now the thumb cannot do what the little finger can do. And what the ring finger can do, the thumb cannot do, right? But together, they're a fist. And the fist can do a lot of things together. Now, a fist can't do what a little finger can do by itself, right? So if there's something that my little finger can do, my fist cannot do that. Only my little finger can do that. So what does that mean? To me, that's like, it's like individuality. So each finger is individual, but at the same time, there is a oneness, and there is strength in oneness. Okay. So, instead of trying to figure out avoid comparison with other members of the team. Two is try to observe, what am I good at? What do I enjoy doing in this team? What is it that if I were to do, I could just do it forever? So try and contribute to the team in that particular manner, because then what happens is that our self-esteem starts to get built, right? Because I know I'm good at this and I'm not so good at that. But if I work with this person who's really good at, let's say creative writing, then gradually I will understand how to do creative writing better, right? So let's say for those of us who are working together with family, or we're running a household together, you know, when we have staff, or when we have employees, or when we have people working together, we also need to observe what are they good at, right? You may have a lot of people in the house, but if there's still chaos and things are not getting done, guess what? It basically means that we have not assigned the right task to the right person, which means that they need to enjoy doing whatever we are asking them to do. Okay. So what Master Choa has to say in this regard is, just as your eyes have blind spots, you know what a blind spot with the eyes are, you know, there's a point where we can't see, right? So you can try that later. It's an experiment. It's called a blind spot. You can check on YouTube or Google or something. And it says your mind also has blind spots. This is why you need group discussions. Now, I know some people who don't enjoy group discussions. They just think it's a complete waste of time, because they're like, oh, we'll just discuss the same thing again and again. But what they're not realizing is that sometimes by having a group discussion and by, you know, sharing ideas from both sides, a solution comes up. It's like, we can't do this, we can't do this, but we can do this, and we can do this, and let's put this together. Okay. So again, it also says that pranic healers need to work as a group. It also says something very beautiful. It says, when we gather together in a group, the higher beings are forced to appear. And this is really interesting. He says that your personal trivial feelings are of no importance. The work should not be disrupted by politics. So this is again something that I feel that even with families, you know, if you want to have a happy family, then politics has to be put aside. And you know, in the family, it's a little difficult because everyone is there. So what I would suggest is, again, let's close our eyes for a second or two, and let's just think of a strength that we have. You know, let's close our eyes, think of a strength. What are we good at? And usually it'll be something that we enjoy, right? It could be cooking, or it could be, you know, reaching out to people, social media, conducting meditation, doing healing. If you're a healer, or if you're not, then do you like doing business? In business, what do you like to do? Do you like to talk to people, or do you like to sit down with numbers? What do you like to do? So once we know our strength and we work together in a group, now we can contribute to that group. And we can also build self-esteem in the same process. What normally I have seen often happening in group work is that people's self-esteem begins to fall. That's because we're just comparing with other people, saying, oh man, you know, that guy is so good at that. I mean, like, I just can't do it. But we're not remembering that we are also good at something, and that guy is not good at what we do. Okay, of course, there will be some exceptional people who will be good at everything. Like, for example, our teacher, Master Chakraksui, was good at a lot of things. But, you know, if you see some of his videos, you know, there are times when he would say that, you know, if somebody asks me something that I don't know, I just say, I'm not an expert on it. Okay, ask me something about pranic healing, I'll tell you. But, you know, mechanical engineering, not happening. Right? It's okay to, so why is it okay for us to not know what's mechanical engineering and be able to say it? Okay, so this is what I have a little insight, which is that the reason why it doesn't make me feel bad to say I don't know mechanical engineering is because I don't aspire to be a mechanical engineer, right? But let's say if somebody says, suppose I see a great speaker and I feel like, that's probably because somewhere in my heart, I want to be a good speaker. I want to be a better speaker, right? So if there are people in the group of whom you are feeling what I would say a little bit envious maybe, or a little bit jealous, let's put that to good use, okay? Let's treat that as inspiration. Let's treat that as something that we want to be. But at the same time, let's not forget that we are here for something else, okay? So first, our strengths, then our weaknesses. Yeah, okay, I'm not so good at this, but I want to be better at it. And there'll always be some things where you will be like, mechanical engineering, not my thing, right? So those don't bother us, but what bothers us is stuff that we aspire to, right? So let's put that to good use. Let's start working with our groups. I mean, a lot of people here are working with pranic healing centers. I would encourage you to work with your center. You know, I'm sure there are some people who are really annoying, and there are some people who really like tick you off, but hey, I mean, just focus on what you're good at, and build your self-esteem that way, and contribute to the group, and continue to grow. And some things that you think you're never going to do, just let them be for the time being. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. So we can also close our eyes and think of strengths. We can also be aware of, if you just close your eyes for a second and just think of, what are the things that some other people are and we feel envious of it, or we feel like, So if there's a reaction, then you can be sure that it's something that you do want to do. So let's just uncover ourselves, discover ourselves, and, put ourselves to good use. Yes? Okay. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. And let's do a short session on forgiveness with people who we maybe have had some difficulty with. So let's close our eyes. Visualize that person in front of us. Let us say, Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you. I, the soul, forgive you for the irritation, the hurt, the losses, the pain that you may have caused me. We are all evolving. We are all children of God. I forgive you. Feel the energy flowing from your heart, from the crown, going to this person in our group or in the family with whom we are having some difficulty. Once again, Atma Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you for your strengths. I, the soul, forgive you. I forgive you for the hurt and the pain, the anger and the frustration, the losses that you have caused. I forgive you. I forgive you for not being exactly the way I want you to be. I forgive you. I understand that we all make mistakes and we all learn through our mistakes. I forgive you even though you keep making the same mistake over and over again. If that's what's coming to your mind, that's okay. Just say it and get done with it. Atma Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, love and respect you. If you don't love them, you can just say, I respect you. I, the soul, forgive you. I forgive you for your mistakes, the hurt, losses, frustration. I forgive you for not being exactly the way I want you to be. I forgive you for your mistakes. I forgive you. Now let's also consider, have we by any chance done something to hurt this person? If not, is there someone else whose forgiveness we need to ask for? Let us visualize that person in front of us. Atma Namaste. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, ask for your forgiveness. Please forgive me for my mistakes. Please forgive me for not being exactly the way you want me to be. We are all evolving. We are all children of God. We all make mistakes. I forgive you. Once again, let's visualize the same person. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you. Keep that energy flowing. I, the soul, forgive you for the hurt, the pain, and I ask for forgiveness for any hurt or pain that I may have caused you. Please forgive me. I hope you feel more calm. Let's do this one more time. Visualize the person in front of you. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you. Please forgive me for the hurt, the pain I may have caused you. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Atma Namaste. Visualize yourself repairing that relationship in whatever is appropriate for it. Let's also bless people who are affected by the COVID-19 virus, which is all of us. Let's also bless people who are directly affected by the COVID-19 virus, who are dealing with grief, with loss of family members. Let's also pray that this energy be extracted by the Buddha Kuan Yin, externalized and raised to higher vibrations with her divine, compassionate, purifying light and soothing, healing energies. Let's also invoke to the Lords of Karma to help humanity learn our lesson rapidly and properly. Let's also be aware of what we need to learn at an individual level and let go. Let's bless our projects. Visualize bright light flowing through our home, cleansing our home of any unhappiness, blessing our home with friendly conversations, communication. Let's bless our workplace with the energy that it requires to get things back to normal. Let's visualize beautiful golden light flowing through the workplace, through every person who used to be there, who is going to be there. Let's bless prosperity of every person. Let's take a few more seconds to bless anything else that we'd like to. A specific person or a specific project. Okay, once we're done, let's massage our face. This is to avoid any form of energy congestion that may happen in the body. Let's massage our neck, shoulders, arms. So thank you everyone, and we'll see you soon tomorrow